How you doing, guys? It's Ricky. I'm back with another video. In this one, I'm going to be taking a look at the NexUS trucks made by MBoards. Now, these trucks are absolutely awesome, look amazing, work absolutely amazing. There's a couple of little things on there that I will mention in the video that I think going forward in, newer versions or iterations, shall we say, that they could update and change to make things a little bit more easier. But overall, very, very happy with these trucks. Now, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the price of these trucks. Now, I believe they're about £280 for the four-wheel drive versions, which is what I've got on the board currently. One thing I didn't take into account though is the import tax from America. Obviously, I thought wicked, £270, CNCed pair of trucks, ordered them, got them in, got hit with a bill for another 100 quid for the truck. So I was like, oh, so that was a bit of a killer, a bit of a stinger, but it is what it is, and they are amazing trucks. So of course, opening the trucks up, you get, all the hangers, and the base plate is adjustable for 3 different angles, 50, 43 and 30, I think, something like that. Obviously, the lower degree angle you have, the more stable these trucks are going to be. But I've got these on 50 degrees, so front and back, I've got them both on as the most maneuverable that it will be, and it's working absolutely fine for me. So these trucks are really, really wide, but that doesn't really affect the way that they ride. So in terms of like maneuverability and things like that, it maneuvers perfect. I've had to really tune these trucks. These are RKP trucks, and I've really had to take my time to tune these in. And I've probably spent, a whole day just going through and tweaking different bushing setups and all the rest of it to get these dialed in the way that I want them. Now, the way that I've actually gone about this and made my adjustments to the truck, shall we say, is I've gone to make these trucks as maneuverable as I physically can. So on the board at the moment, I've got cone setup. I've got the hardest riptide crank bushings in there at the board side, which is the grey, and that is the hardest they do in the crank version. And then I've got the second hardest down, which is the blood red colour cone as well on the road side. So with this setup, it makes it really, really maneuverable. I'd still like it even more maneuverable, but I have come from double kingpin trucks, and these are RKP trucks. I'm never going to get them to be as maneuverable as what double kingpins are, but they are bloody damn close, I tell you. One thing that I will get to regarding the trucks and the fact that it's something going forwards I'd like to see a little bit of an iteration on is maybe on the base plate they could maybe just make it a fraction more easy for the hanger where the kingpin slips in to adjust the angles. That's extremely tight, and because I've had to take these off, put them back together so many times in order to get the angle set the way that I want it, it's really scratched the trucks up. So that was, it's a little bit annoying, as I wanted to keep them looking really, really nice. Now, the second thing that I would come to that I think going forward really needs to be changed is, in order to change the bushings on the board side, you have to completely take the adjustable base plate hanger out to get to that bushing. You can't just take the hanger off and change the bushings over. So every time I've gone and made an adjustment and wanted to try a different bushing setup, I've had to take that whole thing out, which is extremely tight as it is, to put it back together. I'd like to see them maybe on a further, a future iteration, make it so that the kingpin actually goes in at the top and screws in from the top rather than a nut, and have like a press nut or the actual angled base plate part there threaded at the bottom or something like that, just to make bushing changes easier, so I don't have to disassemble most of the truck to just be able to do that. So that is quite frustrating. Something that's an easy fix, but just something I have noticed from trying to dial these trucks in. So of course, these are CNC milled trucks. They're precision trucks. They're the best that you're going to be able to get on an electric skateboard. They really are. They look absolutely amazing in that raw colour. The details are, perfect. Everything about these trucks is absolutely lovely. They're just a really good quality set of trucks that are going to last you the lifetime of your board. Not only that, is because of just the way that they're constructed and made, anything from the axle to the base plate, everything can be replaced. So, you bend an axle or anything like that, or you strip the threads on the axle, you'd be able to hit Mike and the team up over there, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to send you out a brand new set of axles or a brand new base plate. So that's one good thing about these trucks, is they're just so customizable, and if anything goes wrong, anything breaks on them, which I doubt it will, you can easily replace it. So as I said earlier, I've set these trucks up to be as maneuverable as possible, and the reason I've done that is because of the angle you've got on that base plate there. I thought if I put 50-50 at the front, make them absolutely as maneuverable as I physically can without them being unstable, then if I ever want to change the gearing up to go higher speeds, all I've got to do is make one adjustment to that back truck or the front truck, lower those angles, and I know the board's going to be absolutely stable. Also, with making it as maneuverable as possible, you know, if you're racing around a track, a go-kart track or something like that, I know that with the setup that I've got, I'm easily going to be able to adjust that to the 50-50 degree front and back and be able to maneuver around that go-kart track with it being stable as well, up to, you know, a certain degree with speed. It's stable at the moment, up to 30 miles an hour. I'm also, this is a four-wheel drive board. I'm running 140 motor amps on each motor at the back and 50 battery amps, and on the front I'm running 100 motor amps either side with 50 battery amps either side. So that's a lot of power that's going from these motors into these wheels and going through that truck there. And so that's why I thought I'm going to get it as stable as I physically can, with it being as maneuverable as possible to start off with, and then any adjustments I make after that, I know that the board is going to be super stable. Another thing that I'd like to see going forward is, as I ordered the four-wheel drive kit, you will get some spacers that come in. So you'll get some spacers for the back, spacers for the front. Because it's a four-wheel drive kit and it's a four-wheel drive board, I would have liked 4 of the little spacers, but I only got 2 of the little spacers and 2 of the big spacers that you get for like your normal front wheels. So in the four-wheel drive kit, it'd be nice going forward if they would include 4 of the little spacers, because it's a four-wheel drive board and you need the little spacers in order to give it the right spacing for the motor. The big spacers are too big. I had to get over this by using bushings as spacers to be able to space it out for the front, but no big deal. It works, it's fine. It just would have been nice to have them included, but everything else is included in the bag. You get, you know, a mountain of extra spares, motor bolts, spacers, nuts, the lot. It's all in there. Would have just been nice just to have 2 extra spacers, but apart from that, absolutely amazing. Now, the bushings that Mike and the team send over in the trucks when you initially get them, great bushings. They're crank bushings, they're the medium hardness, and then you've got the white ones. So the green ones are medium hardness and the white ones are the softness below that. So they're not extremely soft, they're like in the medium range, and they're great. They're the fat chubby bushings, so you've got the fat chubby barrel with the standard barrel over there. So the bushings that you get in this are really good. At that 50 degree and 50 degree there, with the amount of power and the softness of the bushings though being medium, they're too soft for the amount of power I've got going through it, and then when I boot it, I get wobbles like that, which is very scary. So that's why I've changed them out to harder bushings. Overall, for majority of people, I think the bushings that you get in there are going to be absolutely spot on. Not only that, as well, is with these trucks, with the bushings, you can use like the chubby barrels, the chubby cones. So basically any bushings that Riptide sell on their site or any other bushing manufacturer will work in these trucks, which is absolutely amazing. One thing I would suggest doing when you get the trucks is they do come with the axles already installed, but one of my axles did come loose when I was untightening and tightening the bolts up to take the wheel off to adjust things and change bushing setups, etc. And it did come loose, so I have Loctited it again, put it back in, so it should be fine. But just double check those before you on a ride, make sure everything's tight and secure as it should be. Another nice feature on these trucks is the pin tech system that Mike is sort of invented, shall we say, for these trucks, which is really great. There's 3 pins on the collar that goes onto the truck, and on the motor mount itself is a series of holes 360 degrees the whole way round, and the holes lock into those 3 pins on the collar that connects to the truck, which is really nice. It means you can mount your motors inwards, outwards, upwards, whatever direction you want them to go, you can mount them. Just be careful when mounting them though, because there's such a fine amount of adjustability on there. You could put your motors on there, think that they're straight, and one might just be on a notch below it slightly. When you look at the board then, once you've done it, one motor sits higher than the other. So just make sure when you're doing it, you're keeping them level, because it is easy with the amount of adjustability you've got on here to slightly make them out of alignment. You also get some motor guards to protect the belts and the motor pin that goes on there. They're made from a TPU material, really nice actually. Normally you'd get like a hard plastic, but this is made out of like a soft TPU, which sort of like cushions the board when you stand it on end. So it works perfect. They've not broken, they've not, you know, split or anything like that. Yeah, great little idea to make out of TPU. I think that's better than hard plastic. So yeah, they're really nice and grippy when you stand the board up, sort of cushion it a little bit as well. And overall, you know, for motor guards as they are, they work absolutely fine. So talking a little bit more about the adjustability in these trucks, there's so much adjustability, it's ridiculous. So obviously, like I've said, you've got the 3 degrees of adjustability, shall we say, to be able to make the trucks more stable and more manoeuvrable. And I've got them on the most manoeuvrable position at the moment, and that is with the truck hanger sitting high like that. The lower the truck hanger is, the more stable it's going to be, but the less maneuverable it's going to be. The higher the truck angle, like this being the truck with the wheels coming off, the more manoeuvrable it's going to be, which is great. Depending on what type of board, what type of ride you are, where you ride, that's amazing. So I've been on go-kart tracks, which means I can have them on the most manoeuvrable and whip round that. And I've also been on big tracks, like big bike cyclone tracks, that you can just hit top speeds all the time and really go fast around corners. So all I've got to do is literally undo a couple of bolts, flatten those hangers down, and I know my board's going to be absolutely super stable to be able to rip round those corners. So when it comes to sort of the adjustability of these trucks, it's never ending. Like I said, I've spent a whole day pretty much just trying different bushing setups with different washers and this, that and the other, just to get these trucks where they're not wobbly, but they are really manoeuvrable. One more thing I would have liked to have seen included in the kit itself as well is the top plates, like they've got on the Interstellar. They've got the top plates, the little metal silver plates that go on the top there that sort of clamp. I can't remember what they're called now, but it's just like a bracket that goes over it. Looks really cool. I was hoping they were going to come in the box, but I didn't. But it is what it is. But would like to see those included in the future. Yeah, so overall, I don't want to make the video too long. It is a set of trucks at the end of the day. They are very, very nice trucks, precision trucks. Everything is, you know, milled, CNC milled to perfection. They look amazing. They perform amazing. There's not much I can say. A couple of little things that I think going forwards in further iterations that could be, you know, made and improved a little bit on. But apart from that, I mean, these are solid trucks that are going to last you an absolute lifetime. So thank you very much for watching. If you made it to the end, really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, make a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on these trucks, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.